Hi there, welcome to Open House. My name is Casey Hyland, or Ms Hyland. This is English 4, my first year at Saguaro. I'm very excited to be a part of the community. It's been wonderful. Everyone's been so welcoming this far, or as welcoming as we can be at a 6-foot distance. This is a career change for me, and I worked in the corporate world before this with various other educational pursuits, but I'm very excited. I love working with this age group, and I just find them to be wonderful, and I've found that to be the case with your students as well. They are great, and I can't wait to get to know them more. I am qualified to teach your child. I grew up in Arizona. I've also lived in California and Florida. I have a BA in English Literature from Arizona State and a JD from Whittier Law School. I didn't really know what to do with an English degree when I was 22, so I decided that, hey, I would go to law school. I had wanted to be a sports agent, not really the personality for that, but I continued to work in sports marketing for a golf equipment company. I met my husband out there. His name is Ryan, and we decided to move back to Arizona when we wanted to start a family. We have 2 little boys. Rafe is 3 and Callan is 1. In my free time, whenever that is, I like to work out, I like to read, and sleep. Sleep is precious these days with 2 little ones. Communication, very important. I want to hear from you, and I want to hear from your student. So email is great, khyland@susd.org or khyland@susdgapps.org. I also have office hours Monday through Thursday from 12 to 2:20 or by appointment. I know schedules get crazy, and I'm happy to accommodate hours outside of those times, and as long as we get it scheduled beforehand. Remind 101, I find this to be a great resource in terms of keeping in touch. Your students have also had a chance to subscribe during class. They have the codes on Google Classroom. I think it's great for parents to be on Remind as well because they're in the loop as far as what's due for students and what's expected. So what to expect from me in the classroom. Positive relationships, absolutely. I think those are very important, and that's a major reason why I wanted to go into this field. Like I said, I love working with kids this age. I think they're awesome. They're so insightful. They're just about to go into the world and make their mark. So it's really interesting learning from them. So positive relationships. I absolutely think that that's the foundation, and then we'll go from there. But they have to know that I care before they care to know what I know. High expectations and rigor, certainly a part of Saguaro's curriculum, and definitely something I look forward to doing with my students. I think high expectations and having to set the bar high for them gives them the motivation to push harder than they might do on their own. So we'll be working hard this year, but we're going to try and make it fun. Relevance, definitely important. I think that having something that students or with which students relate gives them a reason to stay engaged. So I will rely on them to kind of steer in terms of maybe assessment or how we're going to present our ideas or what texts we might look at versus other texts. I mean, I'm in charge, but it helps to give them choices. Emphasis on critical thinking. I can't stress this enough. I think that ultimately when you leave school, you may or may not remember exactly the texts that you've read, particularly in English, but you will need to know that you are a critical thinker and that you can analyze things from a variety of perspectives, and that's what we're going to work on in this class. And then writing, it's never anyone's favorite. Maybe 1 or 2 students enjoy it. It's hard. It requires you to actually use your brain. You can't just memorize something and then throw it out the next day, but we are going to work on writing, spelling, grammar, all of those things to articulate our thoughts and then demonstrate what we've learned. Grading practices. Again, we are going to adhere to the Arizona Common Core state standards. Those can be found on azn.gov. Assessments will be a variety of in-class discussion, informative speeches, argumentative essays, Socratic seminars, explanatory essay, a research project, and a senior research paper. Checks for understanding will be 20%, assessments 70%, and a final exam for 10%. We cannot offer extra credit, but students will be able to resubmit writing assignments for an improved grade. There's more information on their syllabus about that, but yeah, I think it's important to redo something for a chance to get it right, but you have to do it, put in your best effort the first time in order to have that opportunity. Quarter 1, we will be working on effective communication styles and techniques. We're focusing a lot on rhetoric, rhetorical analysis, figurative versus literal meaning, literary elements. We're going to be working with selected speeches and short stories. I think it's easier to do short texts, particularly while we're doing it virtually. Quarter 2, Anglo-Saxon and Middle Ages literature. I'm not sure how that's going to look or where we will be by quarter 2. So ideally, we're going to work with Beowulf and then some selected fairy tales and fables. Again, it just depends somewhat on whether we're in the classroom as expected or whether we're continuing to do virtual learning. Quarter 3, Shakespeare and satire, figurative language, wordplay, imagery, tragic hero, staging, and performance. It would not be high school English without Shakespeare. We're going to be working with Othello, and I'm very excited, something a little different, but I think it'll keep our students engaged. And then quarter 4, satire and social criticism in writing. That will be a choice novel, so students will be given a list of novels from which to choose, and then they will be working with those kind of on their own. So questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me. Again, khyland@susd.org. I look forward to working with you all this year. I know that we all have the same goal in mind, which is success for our students, and please keep the communication open. Thanks so much.